Hello, welcome back to the Fasting Fat Man with an internet connection. My internet's still online, so I'm still here. Still fasting, still haven't eaten, so I'm still fasting. Hey, someday one of those things may not be true, possibly both of them, but for now, you just gotta deal with me. Or not. So pretty much today is day 3. I did my weigh-ins at approximately the 60-hour mark or so into the third day. So 24, 48, 12 hours, so yeah, I was pretty happy with it. I finally dropped under 350, but actually, before I go more into my actual weight and what my vitals were today, I'm going to speak a bit more about why I'm doing this. And the reason for why I'm doing this, I spoke about it at length before, I'm just going to go over it briefly here. I'm fat. Y'all have seen it. I see it. I'm fat. I'm overweight. I don't feel good walking around in my body. And this isn't the fattest I've ever been, but it's great. I can walk, miles now, but I used to, a decade ago or so ago, I used to be able to ride my bike. I used to ride a hybrid bike and a commuter bike. I could ride them anywhere between 10 to 20 miles anywhere I wanted to around the city just to go places. I'm pretty sure I could have rolled higher than that back then. I was in the 200s back during that time. But, the places wanted to go to, the first place I wanted to go out to probably would have been church. And that was just, I believe, an 8 or 9 mile ride each way. So 16 to 18 miles altogether. So while I don't go to that church anymore, I don't really go to church anymore, period. Although I do still study my Bible, and I'll speak about spirituality and things at another time, but I am Christian. But basically, I would love to be able to get back on a bike again. I miss bike riding. I also love to get back to being able to really play my rhythm games and fitness games. I like getting physical with my games. I play a lot of arcade games too, but I like playing games for dang near every genre. And being kicked out of a genre because I myself can't personally level up, I myself personally am not capable of doing so, that's hurt a bit. I've missed it. So I would really love to get back into that. And those are just my more personal, more directly to me reasons. I have bigger reasons. And one of the biggest ones is my daughter. I would love to see her grow up. I don't want her to grow up and her father dies early because, he got a heart attack over something that was preventable. I mean, walking around here wheezing, sweating all the time, that shouldn't be normal. That shouldn't be accepted. It's one thing for me to be trying to get better, which I'm trying to do now, versus me just actively not doing anything. And I've made many attempts and been in multiple levels over the years, but I don't want just a stopgap. I don't want a small victory. I want the huge one here. I want to get under 300. My goal weight would probably be somewhere between 180 to 220. It depends upon what my muscle mass and body is really like. I've been no less than 183 pounds since I believe 6th or 7th grade. I'm 33 years old now. So I would have been 11 years old in 6th grade. It could have been 8th. I know it was definitely middle school. So between 11 to 13, one of those years, I definitely weighed 183 pounds. I weigh about 349 something now. Yeah, actually right now I do weigh 349.8 pounds. But yeah. Woohoo! But yeah, so a bit more about my reasoning. That and you know what? Who doesn't like sex? I love to fuck better. I haven't gotten too many of any complaints before, but your better health, you can pretty much go longer and do more. You have more stamina. There's just so many benefits to having a healthy body, and that's one of the reasons I want to do it. And let's be honest, we all like sex, or at least many of us do. Maybe all of us don't. There are asexuals and people that haven't enjoyed it. But yeah, that's just another reason. But without further ado, here are the vitals for today. Alright, so as you can see here, yeah, doing better. I'm trending downwards in all the right areas and upwards in the other areas. So 349.8 pounds, finally up on the 350 again. Last time I slid back in this 300 area, I was at 346. So I'm going to surpass my latest slip back here because that's the lowest I've been over the past year and a half. I've hit around this area multiple times and then I go back up. because I stopped doing what I'm doing, which is, not a bit of, just completely low carb. And now let me explain what low carb is for me, because when I am not paying attention to what I'm eating and I'm, going towards more junk food or just not whole food, my carb levels for the day hit at least, well, hit at least, I believe, 300 grams or so, over 300. Low carb for me is under 100, which is where I consistently have been at over the past year and a half to 2 years mostly. It's just, hey, whenever I slip back for a little while, and then my activity would go down even when I would start eating better. But eating better doesn't necessarily mean eating good. And being low carb, in my definition for describing just my life in this one context, it's not actually low carb. Like keto, real keto, you have to have your macros aligned properly, but as far as the carbs are concerned, you're at 20 or lower. Now, depending upon your body type, you can be in ketosis at 50 grams of carbs or less, which I've been in. I find that I start to lose weight once I'm under 60. So once I'm under 60 consistently, I lose weight until I hit around the 346 mark. If I'm eating the same way at that mark, no matter how healthy the food is or how whole it is, but I'm hitting that high. Well, first off, you're not going to hit that high if you're mainly eating vegetables or whatever, or you're eating, good fatty meats and just good whole heart healthy fats filled with omega-3s, very low or no omega-6s. So, like olive oil, avocado oil, you're going to still be fine, and I should still be fine with that. But if I'm hitting around 60 grams of carbs, I mean, maybe half of what I'm eating is the right stuff, but the other half, yeah, I'm going to stop at McDonald's, I'm going to get 2 double cheeseburgers, and I'm eating the bun, and I'm eating the ketchup. I mean, dirty keto, which is kind of what my low carb was when I was doing well, I mean, it worked for me. I would stop at McDonald's or Burger King or just any other place and just going with the burger example. There's so many other foods that I eat. But like at Burger King, I love their double cheeseburgers. I would tell them to give me a double cheeseburger with pickles and mustard and nothing else. And then I would get it and I would just toss the bun. And I know that's going to seem very wasteful to some of you out there about just tossing the bun instead of asking to get it without it, but I found that they consistently are confused or have trouble. They don't get how to wrap it up or how you want things. It seems like it's a bit of a messy situation for them. It's easier just have them to do things as close to normal as possible and then just toss the bun myself. I mean, they don't knock off any money for it either. So just from a financial standpoint, I'm like, give me my bun, even though it's being tossed. I would love to order it without it, but I have never consistently been served right when asking for meals like that at restaurants. But getting back to the topic here, yeah. So I probably could have made it under 346 doing low carb if I was eating a nice, complete, healthy, whole food diet. But if I was doing so, I probably wouldn't even hit 60. You would hit around 30 to 40 or so, based upon the type of meal you should be eating as far as carbs are concerned. You also don't want to go too high on protein, but I mean, I've eaten whole chickens, whole Cornish hens and chickens, high vast amounts of protein, and have still lost weight consistently days back to back. The types that they have at Kroger or other stores, or just buy it myself and then just toss it in the slow cooker. So, yeah, my body is a bit funny. I've tested myself in many ways. I know which foods I respond to, but I didn't get at first that I needed to adjust as I was losing weight to better fit. Or, at least part of me knew it, but I just didn't. It was like I just wanted to be, where I wanted to be. But I mean, I'm happy eating healthier foods. It was a bit of an access issue combined with money for a time because I was dealing with a lot of debt. I'm out of most of it now, but I still have a bit more to deal with, but it's not enough to screw with any nutrition going forward. I'll be able to eat exactly how I need to and would love to going forward. So this fast is to help get me back on track. But yeah, so weigh 349.8 pounds now. My blood pressure, as you see at 9:48 a.m. this morning, was at 147/94. That is still very freaking high, but not as high as that 170 and over 100 something the other day. So it's going down. The fasting is bringing it down. You see us trending back down again. I have a chart. If you go further back, I believe it shows a little bit of yellow. I mean, one day I hit green, but yeah, I'm still on the red for now, hoping to get that fixed. My beats per minute, those are all over the place. I look at my Fitbit here, and I can be as low as about 60 something when I'm just resting. And just simply walking up the stairs can jump me between 120 to 130. I believe that 140 is a major fat burning level. And walking the stairs is real exercise, but I mean, you should be able to move around your home without it becoming a major fitness event for you, you know? And looking over at my glucose, yeah, that was very early this morning. That's about the same time as the blood pressure ones. So around 9:48 or so, I woke up about an hour prior, fed my daughter, uh, bathed, and then I took these measurements. Dawn effect was still in effect. That is still high for glucose at 134 milligrams per deciliter. But it's still much lower than what my dawn effect normally is. My dawn effect is normally like 150, 160 or higher every morning, no matter how good or how bad I eat. So it's like that is great. That is low. As far as low as concern, that is low to me, based upon what I've been seeing since I've only had this keto mojo since December. As far as the ketones are gone, I've had them up as high as about four to five or so. So this isn't the highest, but I mean, I was expecting just not eating for basically 3 days. That's really about the 60-hour mark there, but so basically 2.5 days to have my ketones at a much higher level. But I mean, they are steadily going up. And maybe tomorrow I'm going to see the jump that I'm expecting to see. And today was also the first day that I did any real exercise. I did a few minutes, I believe like 5 or 6 minutes of walking up and down the stairs consistently. I'm going to go into longer and more real exercises going forward, but I mean, just that is enough in the beginning here to get me moving and get my heart pumping. I would love to duplicate the exercise regimen I used to have about 10, 11 years ago when I worked for AT&T. But for that, I'm going to go into that in another video. But thanks for listening to me. Sorry that I left this one picture up the entire time, but I'm trying to find a good balance here between editing and being on the camera and just showing data. So this should make it a bit easier to get out, but I don't want to do completely lazy content like this all the time going forward. I'm going to find a good medium as I actually learn how to video edit properly. So I thank you all for your patience and your time. God bless. See you next time. Bye-bye.